Alright, so I want to talk to you a little bit about your radial repoussé design today. On your plan sheet, you should take your notes at the top, plan out some different ideas of shapes, and then after you've done that, you're going to come up with two different designs. As you are planning, keep in mind that where the dot is in the corner, that's going to be the center of your design. So you're designing one quadrant of your actual design, and then you're going to rotate it around that center point to see what it looks like when it's finished. As you're planning out your design, make sure that you're thinking about size of shapes. Think about how can you get them to interlock, how can you have some different details that could work together in an unusual way. Make sure you don't go too small. As you're planning your design, you want to leave some space between your shapes. Rounded shapes tend to be a little bit easier to do the embossing and the etching than if you have squares or triangles or some of the more pointed shapes. Be careful not to make it too detailed, but you do want to fill your space well. And like right here, I might go ahead and add in something so that way I really have my positive space filled, not a lot of empty space showing in my design. Once I have this figured out, then I'm going to take my Sharpie, get a thin Sharpie, and I'm going to trace over it. And I'm going to trace over the entire design so it's nice and dark. So that way I can see it on the light box. You want to go slow, take your time, make sure you're being as accurate. Okay, so I took and I erased all my pencil lines for the most part. I think you might still be able to see them in a few places. But then what you're going to do is you're going to take your draft paper and you're going to fold it. Now I'm going to work with a different type of paper. I don't have a light box available to me at my house, so I'm going to use some paper that I can see through a little bit better. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper, your draft paper, and you're going to line it up so that the center, the fold lines, are where it says folded side, and the center is where you have your dot. And you're going to take and you're going to trace over your design on the light box in that quadrant. So I've got my first quadrant traced. And then what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to line up folded side, center point, and I'm going to trace it again. Okay, so then I'm going to rotate this again. Again, folded line, center point. I line it up and I retrace. And I'm going to trace it for the last time. I rotate it again, folded side, center point. Okay, so now when you have that done, then you're going to look at your overall design and see if there are any places where things don't match up. So like right here, I need to make an adjustment and fix that. And as I'm looking, most everything else is looking good. Like right here, I can fix that one. Looks how I had hoped. Okay, so my next step is to pick out metal.